We're into Mark chapter 14, and perhaps one of the most beautiful incidents in the whole of the Bible, where Jesus is anointed at Bethany just a few days before his death and his burial. Contained in this passage as well, this little section, is one of the most awful and dark parts of the New Testament. And it's all there, these first few verses of Mark chapter 14. But we'll take our time. This could last a few days for us, this particular incident. We begin by seeing that the anointing took place in Bethany at the home of a man called Simon the Leper. Now, what do we know about Simon the Leper? Well, we know his name, Simon. And we know that he used to have leprosy. When I say he used to have, I mean this. Leprosy was something which separated you from society. It was a terrible disease that affected the whole of the body. It was a living death. And leprosy meant you couldn't mix with people. It also meant this: you could never go home. And we find that Jesus and his disciples and others were in the home of Simon the leper. The only conclusion is this: he must have been cured of his leprosy, shown himself to the priests and been allowed home again, allowed in society and to mix with people. Simon had been cured but still retained the name. This is Simon the leper, who Jesus had healed. And he can go home again. And in his great gratitude, when Jesus is passing through Bethany, he invites Jesus to his home and invites his disciples and his friends as well. Well, what do we learn? Well, have we got grateful hearts? If we are saved people, we have a terrible disease. We are still known as, I'm Andy the sinner. You put your name there. What are you? A sinner. Even though we've been forgiven and cleansed by Jesus Christ, we still remain sinners. Sinners saved by the grace of God. There are two types of sinners: lost sinners and saved sinners. And the only way for sin to be dealt with is through Jesus Christ. He is the Son of God. He lived a perfect life. He was sinless. Then he died as if he were me, as he were the sinner. He rose again, showing it's all true. And when I trust in Jesus Christ, when I go to him, I can know that my sins have been forgiven. And this is what the great truth. I can now go home, and home is heaven. Heaven is home. And I ought to have a grateful heart. Simon had a grateful heart, and he showed his gratitude by being kind to others. Do I display the fact that I am a Christian, that Jesus has saved me? Can people tell from the way that I live and my attitudes towards others that I am a saved sinner? Let's search ourselves, and if we're straying from that path, help us by the grace and the power of God to live to the Son of God who loved us and gave himself for us. Jesus was at the home of Simon the leper.